Okay, good morning. This is Debbie Davis. It is December 5th. Okay, so what I already noticed already this morning is there's state troopers that drive by all the time here. I know that this is Tim Walz and Ilhan Omar, and I believe it's also Christy Noem involved in stalking. So I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to say, like, maybe since people are saying, I'm just telling you how they think, how I learned how they think. And the entire state knows that there's fraud here. And there's a lot of people saying, well, obviously these people need to be removed or arrested. But what they could do is they could try to say, just because you say something like that, they could try to turn that around and manipulate that into some kind of a threat against them. And that's of course not any kind of a valid threat. No, just because you say, well, obviously these people need to be arrested is not a valid threat. It's a comment. It's a comment that a lot of people are making in the state. It's not any kind of a threat. But this is how crazy they are, and this is what they could try to do. And the other thing that concerned me the other day is that when I did go into Verizon, when they go to look at my phone, the guy asked me what my code was to get in my phone, and to me that was private information. But he said, well, I need to be able to get your code to be able to fix some things. I'm sorry, I don't think you need my code to be able to fix anything, do you? So that was really concerning, and I believe that Verizon is involved, and I believe the telecommunication companies are involved in working illegally with the police, and I believe they have been for some time. I know that, and remember, there was a situation right in Minnesota where the Mike Lindell's phone was confiscated by the FBI illegally. For no reason. And the rumor is that he had evidence, something about the 2020 election on his phone. Okay, that was my understanding of why he was arrested, and they wanted to confiscate his phone so they could confiscate any damning evidence against the Democrats, against the election that he might have had. Because I believe Mike Lindell did have a lot of inside information, because he was working really closely with President Trump. But I've said this in another video, I don't think we have the real Mike Lindell anymore. So I personally believe the FBI confiscated his phone to get the damning evidence off his phone. The telecommunications companies are involved. They have to be involved in allowing the police to get this information. He illegally asked me for he said in order to fix my phone, he's going to need my code to get in my phone. And I was like, well, I just wanted my phone fixed at the time. Okay. But I didn't. And then I'm like, no, that wasn't right. You don't need my code to get in my phone. I've never been asked that before. Okay. So this is concerning, because I believe that they are trying to, illegally try to confiscate my phone to try to get any damning videos, and especially the one that I have in South Dakota. The sheriff has been trying to. That's the whole reason why he has this fake warrant for my arrest, is that they tried to arrest me illegally because I have evidence of this car accident that happened in 2017, where this white car that it was Marvin, was driven by Marvin Hoffman. Okay, we believe that he caused the accident because of the way that so my video shows the white car on the road, and then the blue car in the ditch, and you could clearly pretty much see that it was probably the white car that would have caused the accident, because they were the ones pointing, and then the other one was in the ditch. If the other one caused the accident, they would have been, it would have been a different scene in the accident. So he literally has a fake charge put against me, and he tried to illegally arrest me. And the whole reason he did this fake charge, and he won't remove it, and this has gone on for years, is because he is trying to confiscate that video from me. Okay, this guy is the most dangerous sheriff I've ever seen in my entire life. He's a 33rd degree Mason. His name is Dave Ackerman. And the whole reason is this same type of thing that they did to Mike Lindell and what I believe they're trying to do to me now. He is trying to confiscate that video because it implicates his 33rd degree Mason friend, Marv Hoffman, in this accident that killed two kids. And I don't really know what happened to the woman, but that is the whole reason why he has this fake warrant against me still to this day. And even though I've shown this video, I can't get the entire state. The entire state is in on it. Like, I can't get them to drop the charge, even though I showed that I wasn't disorderly in any way. This is a fake charge. But they want this video off my phone. Okay, they want this video because and on top of it, he took 30 minutes for him to get there, and we were there, and the two kids had passed away by the time they got there. And the video, like I said, the video is implicating, pretty much implicates that the white car, which was driven by Marv Hoffman, it was driving the car, and he caused the accident because what the sheriff is trying to do is illegally charge this innocent woman that just lost her two children in that accident. I don't know what caused the accident. I don't know. See, they target people in that state. They target them. So maybe the guy her husband might have been a whistleblower like me, and so they might have targeted the wife to go after the husband. Okay, this is South Dakota is dangerous. Kristi Noem is dangerous. Okay, and if you remember, there was a few months back, what was it, like 8 months ago or something, where they found these people that had washed onto shore in shackles, and they fully believed that they were, apparently they were literally like dropped in the middle of the ocean by Homeland Security. Okay, I don't believe she is real Homeland Security. I believe she's arresting people and murdering people. She is a murderer. We have a Homeland Security director that I believe is a murderer. If you remember that case, it was about 8 months ago or something, and they washed up on some shore, and they were in shackles. Okay, and they said, no, we know that these people came from America, and they had washed up on, I think, Spain, was it? But this is Kristi Noem that did this. Okay, you have to remember that story. We have to find that story and find out what happened there, because I don't believe she's a real ICE person. I believe she's going after she's going after the illegals. I believe she's going after whistleblowers. I believe she's going after the people that are here that are not going on the Democrat side, and maybe getting rid of those people that are not going to, go with the flow. I believe she's, targeting those people. I don't believe she's targeting really dangerous people that are dangerous to the rest of the normal citizens. I don't believe at all that's what she's doing. So, but this is what I noticed. So like I said, I had them ask for my code illegally at Verizon. So I believe Verizon is involved, and it is illegal for the telecommunications company to be involved in this type of thing without any kind of warrant, with any kind of reason. He legally asked me for my code to my phone, and I was dumb enough to, at the time I hadn't had my phone working in so many days that I just did it. But what they can do now is what they did to Mike Lindell. What they're trying to do is I don't even know what videos they would even want. Most of my videos are all already on YouTube, or uploaded on YouTube. Like, the only damning video that I can think of that they want is the one that I just told you about, where I have the video of that car accident in 2017. It was from Leola, South Dakota. And this sheriff has been trying to get this footage off my phone for years, because it implicates him in the cover-up. He's trying to do a cover-up of what really happened in this accident. He's trying to cover for his friend, and he's and it would also implicate that he tried to illegally charge this innocent woman with the crime instead of Marv Hoffman. We could clearly see that Marv Hoffman was the one that that caused the accident. Okay, so this is what is happening to me right now, because otherwise Verizon wouldn't have asked me for my code to get in my phone, and the way they acted was suspicious. They've acted suspicious. It's always the men there. The one woman at the other place was nice, but yeah, I fully believe that they are working illegally with the police. I believe the telecommunication companies are involved in illegally surveilling and getting information to the police illegally. So they have to be held accountable for that. You don't have a reason to have my code and give any information. I've done nothing wrong. Everybody knows there's fraud happening here. Nobody's saying anything threatening. It's clear to the entire nation that there's a fraud situation here, and we have dangerous people here running this state. So, you don't have any reason to target me, and what you're doing is 100% illegal, and you're the threat. You are the threat. Okay, so the other thing I want to remind people, so I just listened to a video with Liz Collins, and she stated, what I've been feeling too, like, they seem like they're untouchable. It's like, my God, how much information do we have to prove, that these people are dangerous people? It's because they're CIA. In the CIA, unless we invoke rescind that National Security Act, they still apparently have this power over all the rest of the agencies or something. But also the CIA is also very connected to the witches. All the witches and the warlocks, they work with the CIA. Okay, and if you remember the flood in Kerrville, Texas, where those women died, those kids died. Okay, there's a huge witch coven out of Kerrville, Texas. There's a huge witch coven out of there. I fully believe that was a sacrifice by the witches. Okay, so the witches are involved. There's a huge witch population in California, in Hollywood, that are involved in this. They work with the CIA. They're, and also they're the Octagon groups. They are also involved with the Octagon groups. I think the Octagon is some kind of secret society. I think it's out of Switzerland or something. Okay, I'm trying to find more information about this, but I was sent information about this years ago, and I'd never heard of the Octagon groups, but they're associated with that group as well. It's like some kind of secret society out of Switzerland or something. Okay, so we have to start looking into these other areas, because they are, it's in the Bible. It's like, my people will perish for lack of knowledge. We have to inform each other and and teach each other, these things, because these things have been hidden from us to keep us suppressed. So I try to do research, and I try to inform people. It's a spiritual battle, and we can't have like this, like we can't have, politics is very much involved in religion now, so they can't be separate. We can't have religious separations from politics anymore. Like, it's all involved, because we have really dangerous evil in politics. So it is a spiritual battle. It's separation of church and state or whatever. Like, we can't have that anymore. We have a spiritual battle going on in our country, and the church and the separation of church and state. I mean, we can't have separate. I think in the past, I think the pastors have actually been told never to talk about politics and things like that. I know the first term President Trump tried to take away some of those oppressions to these pastors, because a lot of them were oppressed because of separation of church and state or something like that, type laws, but it's not separate. It's not separate. We have evil that has infiltrated our country. So the pastors and the churches, you need to start talking about it. You need to start talking about it. There can't be separation of church and state or whatever. You have to be able to openly talk about it in churches. And we're in the end days. Why aren't you talking about the end days? We're clearly in the end days. Why are you not teaching people to get right with God? Because we're in the end days. I mean, some of the messages are still good. I mean, there's still some good messages, but why aren't you talking about the evil that's right in your state? Because this is a spiritual battle that we should be addressing in the church. This is we have evil that should be addressed in the church in this state. The churches need to rise up against this evil in our state. You can't not talk about it anymore. We just can't. It's reached too much of a level. So that's my I don't know when this separation of church and state laws started, but it's like they purposely were trying to oppress the pastors from talking politics. It started years ago. Let me see if I can find. Separate. Okay, so it's like a separation. It started in the 19th century. It's like it's like it's some kind of movement of separation of church and state, like where they're not allowed to talk religion in church. It's just so dumb. We have to. But anyway, I don't know. So anyway, that's my video for today. Okay.